Right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at a genuinely wild story about tech layoffs, and honestly, what it really signals about the changing future of work. When we think about corporate downsizing, we usually picture the shock, the anxiety, the absolute scramble to hold on to a job, right? But today, there's this fascinating report from the Hindustan Times that literally flips that whole narrative upside down. It's a story that I think perfectly captures this weird transitional moment we're in right now with the tech industry, and it all revolves around one specific employee's completely unexpected decision.
So the big question, why on earth would someone volunteer to lose their job? I mean, it goes against absolutely all of our survival instincts, doesn't it? Well, that brings us to the central mystery of Julie Bone. She was a Los Angeles-based content designer for Facebook, and during a massive, sweeping round of recent job cuts over at Meta, she actually raised her hand. Yep, she willingly put herself forward to be included in the layoffs. To really understand why someone would do this, we've got to look at her own words and what was actually going on behind the scenes at the company.
The answer kind of lies in this profound moment of clarity she had. On LinkedIn, Julie wrote, and I quote, "For a long time now, Meta's ambitions and my own were in different continents." So this wasn't just some sudden impulsive rage quit, What we're seeing here is a profound, undeniable misalignment between her own personal and professional goals and the entirely new direction her employer was taking. Different continents, it's such a powerful metaphor, right? They weren't just on different pages, they weren't even on the same map anymore.
Let's break down exactly how this departure went down. She left voluntarily after exactly 6 years at Meta, and 6 years is a pretty massive tenure in the tech world. She detailed the context of her exit, pointing out that, honestly, the timing just felt right for her personal life. But there's also this deeply human element to it, too. She partly hoped that by volunteering to go, she might actually save another employee's role from getting cut. And yet she also kept a pretty good sense of humor about the massive corporate machine she was leaving behind, joking about whether she was already on the chopping block anyway, and wondering if her request even changed a single lonely cell on some HR spreadsheet.
Section 1. The Macro Shift, Meta's AI-first restructuring.
So to truly get Julie's choice, we have to zoom out and look at this massive number, 8,000. This wasn't just a small targeted team adjustment. Meta initiated a major round of layoffs that affected roughly 8,000 employees globally. I mean, that is a massive, fundamental structural change, and it really sets the stage for the intense, frankly stressful pressures that were building up inside the organization.
Now, the driving forces behind these sweeping cuts were, of course, part of a broader push for efficiency and cutting costs, but the really crucial part here was accelerating their investments in AI. They were creating this incredibly aggressive AI-first expectation across all teams. The entire company was pivoting, and they were pivoting hard, toward artificial intelligence. This wasn't just some fun side project for the engineers. This was the new, mandatory reality for literally everyone.
Have you guys heard this term vibe coding? Because Julie herself actually described how she had to learn to vibe code just to keep up with these new AI-first expectations. It basically means using AI agents to prototype ideas, fix code-based issues, and just automate all those repetitive weekly tasks. So think about that. Even as a content designer, the expectation was to deeply integrate with these AI tools for daily functional tasks. The fundamental, day-to-day nature of the work was just changing incredibly fast.
Section 2. The Culture Clash, Human Creativity versus Corporate AI.
You can really see a growing tension here. On one side, you have Meta's new expectations, AI first, vibe coding, highly automated, deeply technical work. But then on the other side, you have what Julie explicitly stated she'll be looking for in her next role. She wants verbal transparency, strong editorial judgment, cultural savvy, and a place, as she put it, where creative is still a thing. She was just really craving a workplace centered on human editorial judgment and human creativity. And that stood in total stark contrast to the highly automated, AI-driven machine Meta was busy building.
And the thing is, this feeling of a culture clash, it wasn't entirely unique to her. This exact sentiment of deep, heavy burnout is echoed in a related note mentioned in the Hindustan Times reporting. Another Meta employee stated that the layoffs actually helps them realize their, quote, soul was slowly dying in that environment. Wow. I mean, that just powerfully highlights the emotional and psychological toll that these massive corporate shifts and relentless tech pivots can take on the actual human beings working inside them.
Section 3. The AI Upskilling Warning. Will learning AI save your job?
Now, before we look at the public's reaction to all of this, we really need to highlight this crucial piece of advice Julie offered her peers. Remember, she successfully learned how to use these new tools. She learned how to vibe code, but she still realized something fundamental, writing, "It's not technophobic to say that no amount of AI upskilling will protect workers without coordinated action." She is flat out warning her peers that simply learning to use AI, just keeping your head down and learning the new tech, is not some magical shield against job insecurity. The systemic issues at play here go way, way deeper than individual skill levels.
Section 4. The public reaction, applause and anxiety on LinkedIn.
So when she finally posted her story online, noting she just wanted to take a short-term breather and eventually seek out smart teams and maybe some wild gossip, the reaction was totally immediate. She got this massive wave of deep respect and support. Users were commenting things like "brava," praising the positive ripples of her message, and congratulating her, saying they were glad you got to leave on your own terms. Honestly, for a lot of people, seeing someone prioritize their own personal alignment and well-being over a prestigious Silicon Valley job was something to absolutely celebrate.
But we do have to contrast that applause with a much starker warning from another user, which brings us crashing right back down to harsh economic reality. This comment read, "Taking a voluntary breather in this market could invite a year of unemployment or more." Ouch. But it's true, and it highlights the severe risks of stepping away in the current, highly volatile tech job market. It's a sobering reminder that getting to leave on your own terms is kind of a luxury, and one that comes with very real potential consequences.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this to really think about. Where exactly is the line drawn between relentless corporate AI ambitions and our fundamental human need for job security and creative fulfillment? Because Julie Bone's story isn't just about one person leaving a job at Facebook. It's a perfectly illuminated snapshot of the crossroads the entire modern workforce is standing at right now. Are we shaping these new tools? Or are the tools shaping us? Thanks so much for walking through this with me today, and keep questioning the changing world of work around you.